Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. This podcast is brought to you by KnivesMonroe.com, in which you can find for free an ebook entitled The Art of Shitposting Online, How to Create Consistent Content Online Without Burning Out while Staying in Love with the Process. And that's going to be the topic of discussion in this podcast. So thank you guys so much for watching. So I created The Art of Shitposting Online as a way to get into creative flow. If you've ever been cold to hot, how do I make a piece of content? How do I turn on the phone and start talking to the camera? How do I make a podcast? How do I make a newsletter? Like, what do I have to say? What do I have to do? Well, for me, the cure for that is shit posting online, not overthinking, just post, and overthink later, right? So this was the cure for the common content analysis paralysis, if you will. And so the art of shitposting online to me became the number one way to just get out of your head and start creative things. It's the best way to stop fucking around and doing the damn thing. So let's get into the table of contents. We're going to be talking about what type of content to make. All you have to do is copy and paste this formula. We're going to be talking about how to show up not giving a fuck, the art of low effort content, how to spam with confidence. We're going to be talking about how cringe is good, how trolls mean engagement, how to ship consistently without burning out. And part of this is an aid to not burn out, how to stay in love with the process, randomness and reinvention equals relevance. We're going to be talking about that formula in depth, and how to shit post from the heart. If this is the first time you're watching, I'm Knives Monroe. I'm a filmmaker, a content creator, a solopreneur. I have a small business called Indie Darlings. I am a brand storyteller, a personal videographer, yada, yada, yada. All that just to say that I make content on the internet, and I make art, and I'm a podcaster as well. So that's why I'm here. And I've been doing this for going on 20 years. 2024 is my 20th year. So here we are, December 8th, 2024, going into 2025, 21 years. That just doesn't sound right. But welcome to essentially this podcast and what is a free online course, how to shit post online. So without any further ado, what type of content should you make? Simply copy and paste this formula. In my opinion, there are 4 pillars of content. There is photo, video, audio, and words. So when it comes to words, that's the written word, right? You can write blogs, you can write articles. I recommend you creating a newsletter, capture emails online. You can use Substack to create an email list online. And so the first pillar, words, create a newsletter. For audio, what am I doing here? I'm recording directly into my phone. You should be capturing podcasts and turn all your video content into audio content as well. You can do that all on your phone. Create shorts and long form video for your video content. Vertical, horizontal, don't reinvent the wheel. And for photos, you want to create images and graphics. I highly recommend carousels when it comes to the graphics, right? You can make it meme worthy. The graphics, the images should be relatable, funny, shareable. That way you can be able to resonate with people who are just simply scrolling down the feed. You want to stop that scroll, being able to create carousels to create that engagement. Yeah. So when it comes to creating content online, there's 4 pillars: words, audio, video, and photos. So copy and paste that formula. Moving forward, what should I make? It's going to be one, if not all 4 of those pillars. So chapter 2 brings us to show up, not giving a fuck. What does that mean? That means you want to ignore the rules. Forget about best practices, trends, and social media gurus. Post what you feel, not what you're told that works. There are no rules online. There are no terms of engagement. Like, you need to post from the heart. Stop overthinking things. Lean into your mistakes and lean into imperfection. It's not going to be polished all the time. It's not going to be perfectly 4K, ProRes, 120 frames a second every single time. Who's to say that that even works? Post stuff that's raw, unpolished, and unfiltered. I'm not doing multiple takes of this podcast. I'm just shipping it warts and all. Perfectly curated content is dead, so embrace the chaos. Get over overthinking. Don't agonize over every caption or design. Post first and perfect later, if at all. You don't need to be overthinking. Get out of your head and start shipping things. When I say show up not giving a fuck, I'm talking about, who is going to watch this? Is my cousin going to see this? Is, my ex-teacher on LinkedIn going to see this? Like, it doesn't matter. Your employer could watch this. It doesn't fucking matter. Who cares? My clients are watching this right now. And if they are, what's up? I'm not trying to alienate them. I'm just trying to speak from my heart and be myself. And I can overthink this to death. If you're watching this, something tells me that you have overthought shipping content to death. Oh, wait till I get the right information. Wait till I get the inspiration. Wait till I'm motivated. Or I'll wait till the beginning of the year, January 1st, and then I'll start shipping things. Man, fuck that. Fuck that. Create what feels good, not what you think will go viral. Focus on the vibe you want to create, not the likes, shares, or algorithm hacks. Podcasts for me is low-hanging fruit. It feels good, and so that's what I'm making. That's what I want to ship. You're listening because you ran out of fucks to give. You saw The Art of Shitposting. What's that? It piqued your interest, and that's why you're here. One other thing I want to add before we move on is don't worry about finding your voice. It will find you. It takes tons of posting, shipping, clicking upload to be able to find your voice. For me, I'm not overthinking things. This is what I'm here to do. I'm here to make a podcast. I'm here to add value. I'm not here to question why I got here. It's turnkey. Like, I made this decision years ago and I don't have to think about it ever again. I am a content creator. That's what I'm here to do. Which brings me to chapter 3, the art of low effort content. Let's see where we're at vertically. I'm also filming vertically on top of filming horizontally. It looks like we're still good here. So I can multi-purpose the content. I have my horizontal camera and I have my vertical camera over here. So low effort content. What is it? It's not trying. It's supposed to be low-hanging fruit. It's supposed to be pathetic. It's supposed to not try. It's supposed to be short and sweet. Focus on brevity. Quick, punchy posts that get to the point are far more effective than lengthy, drawn-out ones. As soon as I hop on the podcast, my phone starts blowing up. Keep it short and sweet. Don't overthink it. And repurpose everything. Right now, I'm filming horizontally. I'm filming vertically. I'm going to take this podcast and turn it into a newsletter. It's already an ebook that I'm giving away for free. Repurpose everything. Turn the podcast into a TikTok, turn it into a blog, into an Instagram story. The more you recycle, the less you have to create. Also, low effort content, embrace screenshots. I do that a lot. Screenshots of texts, messages, memes, conversations that you have are a low effort way to share valuable content. Use templates. Templatize everything. Canva is your best friend. Make your life easier by using pre-made templates for visuals. There's nothing hack about that. Just turn it into your own. Keep it low effort. That can go a long way. Post with no plan, no expectation. I'm not trying to get 1 million views right here. I'm just trying to connect with one person and make something that connects with them. Something that I needed years ago to be able to get out of my head and start creating things, just to find my creative flow. And so I'm posting. That's really no plan at all. I'm not trying to go viral. I'm not trying to get leads. I'm posting with no plan. Document. Don't create. You've heard Gary Vee talk about this. That's what I'm doing. This is the plot of the day. I'm not, have multiple lights, camera, action. We're overproducing things. That slows down speed. That slows down the creative process. Document. Show your day. Show your routine. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be overproduced. Document versus creating. That's another form of low effort content. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't overthink this. We're just talking about low effort. If you're thinking, you're stinking. Let me tell my wife, who's messaging me right now, that I'm recording, and that's staying in the pod. Chapter 4, how to spam with confidence. Yeah, spamming is okay. Post, 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 post. The more you post, the more chances you have of connecting. Don't worry about flooding the feed. Just keep showing up. I'm telling my wife I'm potting, so that's life. Post, 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 post. This is how we're going to spam with confidence. One thing I recommend is going on Twitter or X or Blue Sky or Threads or whatever the current meta is right now and doing a posting burst. What does that mean? It means I'm going to get 50 ideas out of my system right now and just ship 50 tweets. Stream of consciousness. Spam it. All you need is one of those to really work. And by the time you get to like the 13th, 14th one, now you're cooking with gas. You get a bunch of shitty tweets out of the way. And those can be screenshotted and turned into Instagram posts or turned into TikTok carousels as well. You can repurpose this, but it's a great way to get the creative juices flowing. It's a great way to get into flow. Let me just commit to 50 nonsensical posts. So post, 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 post. This is how we're going to spam with confidence. Batch your content. Create a bunch of content at once and schedule it. Spam it across your channels without thinking twice. So schedule a day where you have a 2 to 4 hour sprint where all you're going to do is take photos, take videos, convert your audio into written word, get your newsletter set up. All you're going to do is batch content because maybe Tuesday you're going to be out of town, you're going to be on an airplane, you're not going to be able to create content, so you want to be able to schedule because you want to stay on a consistent basis and you don't want to burn out. So batch content. Schedule it all up front. What's the word I'm looking for? I heard David Goggins use this recently. Front load your content schedule, right? I think that's going to be incredible. So batch content. If you've never thought about that, you should be thinking about it. It's a great way to prepare for the future without burning out. So I highly recommend it. Use variants of the same idea. Repost the same message or concept with different angles or formats. Keep it fresh, but similar. So I'm going to be taking clips of this podcast and putting it on social media. I'm going to be taking it and turn it into an ebook, turn it into a free item, turn it into a lead magnet, turn it into top of funnel content, right? So it's just using a variant of the same idea is a great way to spam with confidence. Like not everyone sees the same message the day you upload it. Sometimes they see it a week later. Sometimes you got to remind them and post it again, syndicate that content as well, because not everybody's online chronically. That's just the truth. So feel free to use a different variant of the same exact idea. Don't be like, hey, I scratched that itch. I made that post and now I can never talk about it ever again. If you're anything like me, you have 7 to 14 things that you're going to say, and that's pretty much all you have to say. And so you have to use variants of the same idea because you are going to repeat yourself. Because if you're like me and you speak the truth doesn't change, does it? So you're going to repeat yourself. Look, this is a common theme here, overthinking. Don't overthink the timing. Post whenever. It's not just during peak hours. That shit doesn't exist. Most exposure comes from posting consistently. So don't overthink the timing. Post anything and everything that comes to your mind on X. I really recommend that, or on Threads, right? Up to 60 times. Do that burst, brainstorm. I actually got that from David Rock, aka D-Rock. I don't know where I heard him say that. It was on a podcast or something. I've seen him do it. It gets incredible engagement. And it's a great way to front load content so you can screen snap them and then post them as Instagram posts as well. And this is kind of an expert tip. Give a call to action with every post, especially if you're posting on, say, like LinkedIn. Put your newsletter or your website in the comment, right? Make a call to action so people get used to what you have to sell. We're all here to sell something at the end of the day. Chapter number 5, cringe is good. I'm really proud of this topic. I get a recurring comment, oh, that's cringe, bro. Like, shave your neck beard. Why would I listen to you? You have 2,000 subscribers. Why the fuck would I listen to you? That's totally cringe, bro. I get all that shit. Honestly, the more awkward you can be, the better. The more you can just show up and be yourself, the better. I say be weird on purpose. Because guess what? It's not that deep. Nobody cares. They're too busy, preoccupied with themselves to really give a shit about you. They're too busy in their own head with their own insecurities. They're projecting. It's not that fucking deep, man. Get over yourself. Laugh at yourself. Don't take yourself too seriously. Go off script. Like, I'm reading my ebook right now. You can follow along with me, but go off script. Like, be cringe, be weird, be you. Post unpolished drafts. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's you. Cool, after all, is subjective. So you're gonna exhaust yourself, and you're gonna burn out if you're afraid and terrified of being cringe. So this is an expert tip that I'm about to give right here. And I first heard this coined by Gabriella Rosie, who I have to mention like on every podcast. She's a mentor. She's an artist. She's just a well of inspiration. Create what you wish existed. Don't let cringe get in the way of creating what you wish existed. Cringe is good. Cringe your little heart out. Chapter number 6, trolls mean engagement. Trolls are your friend. They are free marketing. Every troll is a chance for more eyes on your content. Let them bring in traffic. Let them fight. Let them talk shit. You're never going to find a hater that's more successful than you. So the more interaction, the better. Don't block them immediately. Respond and get the conversation going. Use troll comments as content. Turn troll comments into memes, videos, or posts. Turn negativity into material for your next post. I get trolls all the time. That's how you know you're doing something good. Don't be afraid of them. Lean into it and don't take it personally. Trolls thrive on reactions. The more you shrug it off, the more they'll come back for engagement. So that's the whole point. You want to feed the trolls. They're your friends. Controversy creates cash. So if if you spark it up in the comment section and they're talking shit and getting some heat going, that's a good thing. So use trolls to create cash, essentially. I'm dead ass being serious. Use trolls as social proof that what you're doing works because it's getting heat. Trolls boost the algorithm because they are a part of your audience after all. So don't ever apologize to them. Don't ever feel bad. Don't be like, yeah, you're right. I only have 2,000 subs, The person that's leaving that comment probably has 9 and they've had their YouTube account since 2007. That's right. I checked. But trolls are your friend. It's okay. And odds are they wouldn't say anything heinous in real life in front of you. They just want to be validated. They're projecting, right? So poor little trolls. It's okay. Let them fight. Chapter 7, how to ship consistently without burning out. We're going to batch our content. We're going to schedule our posts in advance. Why? For consistency. What if I can batch content and schedule the next 7 days and use that time to kind of recharge my batteries? I'm not going to burn out if I'm in a state of recharge. I know they say it's a marathon, not a sprint. But the truth is, every now and then you got to sprint. And you want to be able to do that consistently without burning out. So sprint on Mondays and then relax and rest Tuesday through Sunday by scheduling your posts in advance. And here's the thing. I think we've all seen that quote of people die little deaths by words like be realistic, right? You tell someone be realistic, you're killing them. But I'm not trying to tell you guys to be realistic, but set realistic goals. We overestimate what we can accomplish in a year and underestimate what we can accomplish in a decade. So set realistic goals. You might not get 1 million subscribers in 1 year, right? So if you set proper goals, maybe you'll post consistently without burning out. Repurpose your content. That's a recurring theme here. What works for Instagram will work for Twitter, will work for Reddit, will work for LinkedIn. Like everything is synchronous, like everything works together. It's a content ecosystem. So repurpose your content. If you're like, I don't know what to post tomorrow or the next day, repurpose something that you've posted in the past. And the odds are no one's seen everything that you've posted. So repurpose. Take breaks. I don't know about you, but I believe creativity is like a seasonal cycle. Sometimes I'm in a recharge period. If I've sprinted too many times and I'm approaching burnout, that's okay. Take breaks, like rest. That's normal. Listen to your body, listen to your mind. In the creativity field, like what we do is, I want to make sure this thing's not going to go to sleep, my pod track. We need to take breaks because it's so mental, man. The brain is like a muscle, you know? And so if you abuse it, if you treat it like shit, you're going to burn out. So simplicity is key here. Keep your workflow simple. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Templatize. That's going to help take a lot of the thinking out of it. You know, you want to build systems and outsource when possible. And I think this is key. It took me a decade to learn this. And if you can learn it right out the gate, set boundaries. You know, if you don't respond to texts after 8 p.m. because you're in bed, like that's totally rad. That's going to help you from burning out while remaining consistent. And focus on quantity, not quality. Quantity enables quality. I'm going to say that again. Focus on quantity. Focus on more, not quality. Quality is subjective. Quantity enables quality. The more you post, the stronger you get. The more you're flexing that muscle. It's going to elevate your content's quality in time. So focus on quantity to prevent from burning out. That's going to elevate your quality. It sounds counterintuitive, but I practice what I preach. It totally works. The more consistent I am, the better my shit gets because I improve 1% every single time. Lean on your content pillars, you know, like you're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. It's photo, video, words, audio. That's what it is. Lean on your content pillars in case you're like, what am I doing here? Stay consistent, stay the course. That's going to keep you from burning out. Not every post needs to be a masterpiece. We're not trying to create Oppenheimer here. We're trying to spread our message. Like odds are you have a business or you have products and services that you're looking to trade for money, and creating content around this, marketing around that, shit posting online is going to funnel that into your work, right? So not every post needs to be a masterpiece. You just got to work out that day, okay? You just need to show up that day. Chapter 8, how to stay in love with the process. Keep a force field around your playful heart. I know I end every podcast with that. Keep a force field around your heart. But truly, keep a force field around your playful heart. That's how you're going to stay in love with this process. And understand that comparison is like self-harm. When you compare yourself to others, you're hurting yourself. I truly believe that. So stay playful, gatekeep your peace, don't compare yourself to others, and mix up the routine, okay? Change it up. Don't reinvent the wheel, but change up your workflow. Maybe you're attacking Instagram too much. Okay, let's lean on LinkedIn. Maybe you're not on TikTok enough, or let's post more on YouTube, what have you. Mix it up. Mix up the content. Mix up the routine of your life. Go for a walk. All of a sudden, I'm walking now every single day. All of a sudden, I'm going to the sauna. Go downtown, your local, area, and touch grass. Mix up the routine. Travel somewhere. Go on a bus. Go on a train. Go on a airplane. Do what you can with what you have where you are. Mix up the routine. Romanticize the process, and reconnect with your why. When you lose focus or you lose, you're getting doubt. You're wondering why you're doing this. What is the juice worth the squeeze? Reconnect with your why. That happened to me recently. I remembered that I want to end creative poverty. I want to provide blueprints for those who are looking to get back into flow, who are out of practice, who don't know what to say, who are frozen, who are paralyzed. That's my why, is to shake people up, like that big Morpheus energy. Show people the blueprint, walk them through the door, give them the choice, red pill, blue pill, like that's what I'm here to do. You have to reconnect with your why. My why is to end creative poverty for creatives and artists that are struggling so they can pay their bills with art money. That is my why. And so everything comes into focus and becomes clear as crystal when you reconnect with your why and you realize why it is you're doing what you're doing. I'm not trying to do anything outside of my why. Anything outside my why is a distraction. So reconnect with that and learn new skills. Buy a course, invest in yourself. This is how you're going to stay in love with the process. Like you have to upskill yourself. If you're a videographer, learn photography. If you're a photographer, learn videography. Learn how to write. Take courses, upskilling yourself. Learn more about business and entrepreneurship. Learn new skills. The same with shipping online consistently. How do you do that without burning out? Take breaks. I feel like we got to tell men especially to take breaks. If you are working and you're not taking a break, even a day, like you can't be locked in for 12 hours straight. It's just not consistently, man. That's not sustainable. So take breaks and focus on creative freedom. Remember, fuck perfection. We're not trying to be perfect. We're not trying to post masterpieces. We're trying to have fun and create without expectations. This is how we're going to stay in love with the process. I highly recommend keeping a content creation journal or just a normal journal as well to track your progress, track your goals, stay on course. It's a great way to see where you were 6 months ago, where you want to be 6 months from now. Experiment often. I stay in my zone of genius, which is podcasting, filmmaking, content creation, social media strategy. But I do like to experiment and try new things and get out of my comfort zone. That's a way that I stay in love with the process, stay in love with my medium. It's happened to me where I've burnt out, or I woke up one day and I want to retire and I hate what I do. It's because I've been stuck doing the same thing, checking the same boxes for 6 to 8 months, and I'm not growing. I'm not experimenting. I'm not evolving. I'm not trying to grow. So I encourage you to experiment often. And remember, there are no immediate results. We all know what it takes to get the six-pack abs, but it doesn't happen overnight, right? So it's the same thing with content creation. We all know what we need to do to thrive online. I believe if you create content consistently for 365 days in a row, you don't have to worry about leads or money ever again. But it's not immediate. You still got to show up and do the work. So know that this is a long game and you have to prepare for it and adjust accordingly and collect inspiration because you're going to need it. So whether if that's a Pinterest board or screen snapping or saving into your favorites, like certain quotes, or, just gems that you find online, collect that inspiration, create a mood board because you're going to need it, because there's going to be times where your wheels are spinning and instead of going until the wheels fall off, be a man, just collect that inspiration and cash it in when you're going to need it. Maybe that's a song that gets you into creative flow. Maybe that's an album. Maybe that's a movie that's There Will Be Blood that just shakes you up to your core and reminds you why you fell in love with this and why you quit going to college in the first place. But I digress. This is how you stay in love with the process. Chapter 9. This is a little more esoteric. This is a little more abstract. This is a little more nebulous. This is my formula. Randomness and reinvention equals relevance. What does that mean? So randomness is totally key when it comes to shit posting online. And reinvention, trying new things, evolving, is how you're going to stay relevant. How have I been doing this since 2004? I'm not necessarily fighting for relevance, but I have reinvented myself dozens of times where, I am relevant. I'm working with the current modalities and mediums that actually are bleeding edge. I was on TikTok when it was Musical.ly. I reinvented myself and I stayed on the cutting edge to stay sharp. No pun intended. My name's Knives Monroe. No pun intended. To stay sharp. You're going to reinvent yourself regularly. You should. You don't want to get stuck in a single style, or worst of all, in one singular solitary niche. Switch things up every so often to keep both your creativity and your audience's interests fresh. So reinvent yourself regularly. Maybe that means overhauling your wardrobe, or maybe that means filming in a different area or using different modalities. I'm going to start doing podcasts now and be an audio guy, or I'm going to lean more into the written word and be more of a newsletter, blog, X threads kind of guy. Or maybe that means shipping more shorts. Reinvent yourself regularly and use random inspiration. So get inspired by anything and everything. I mean, we're artists, right? The muse comes from anywhere. The ideas come from anywhere. Whether it's a weird trend, a random thought, or a bizarre experience, find ways to weave it into your content. The more random you can be, the more new and fresh you can be as well. So mix up your content. Don't be predictable. Break away from predictable patterns. Post memes, videos, stories, quotes, and other formats. And keep the variety, right? To not be predictable, to stay fresh and to keep your audience engaged. So mix up the content. If all you see on my feed are just podcast shorts, like, I'm going to burn out, or I'm going to be predictable. And you might be like, okay, once I've seen one, I've seen them all. Mix it up. Post those carousels, show people that that the pen is mightier than the sword, and that you can show up and write a hell of a piece. So mix up your content. Don't be predictable, and fail forward. That's been the key to my success, is I fail forward, and I fail fucking often. Don't be afraid to post something that flops. I am like the king of flops. Every failure is a chance to learn and try again with more creativity. So fail forward, flop away, let the audience lead you. They're going to tell you what they want, stay curious and turn your mistakes into reinvention. I know this is more of an abstract sort of thought, but when it comes to shitposting, you don't have to make sense. Sometimes perfect nonsense is just like the thing you want to say. It doesn't have to make sense all the time. And it's a way to keep people on their toes as well. So turn your mistakes into reinvention. This brings me to the final chapter of this course. Shitpost from the heart, or Trojan horse your substance. What does that mean? Shitpost from the heart. Stay truthful. Don't lie. Don't stay out of character. Don't sacrifice your integrity just to post. Stay truthful. Shitpost from the heart. Hide meaning in your humor, right? Like South Park. Those guys were so deep, so funny, so thoughtful, so impactful, so dense in their humor, right? Hide meaning in your humor. This is how you're going to shitpost from your heart. Like spam, post consistently, all that, but do it from a place of integrity and empathy and emotion. I mean, truthfully, be vulnerable. When in doubt, say something that makes you uncomfortable, all within reason, of course, that scratches that itch that other people can say, whoa, like I fuck with that. This guy said the quiet part out loud. Shitpost with purpose, not just humor. Protect your voice and your vision. Don't sacrifice your voice. Don't plagiarize someone else, and all of a sudden you're going through like this Mr. Beast era of like, I made 100 podcasts in 20 days and here's what I learned. Like, nah, man, like protect your voice. Be yourself. Protect your vision. Laugh at yourself. Be bold. Subvert expectations. I think people see me a certain way, and so that gives me an advantage to subvert their expectations and bring on a guest that maybe I disagree with on the podcast, and we have a civil discussion. That's going to subvert how a certain demographic sees me. Or maybe I let something come out that is political, and everyone who thought I was like some MAGA alt-right guy, sees that actually I'm more of a libertarian or something. Subvert those expectations. Like be vulnerable and be honest and be truthful. I think that's how you're going to subvert expectations and keep people on their toes, all while shitposting from the heart. And finally, don't preach. Don't over-explain. Simplicity is key. Complexity is the enemy of execution. Like, just because I have a podcast doesn't mean that I have a soapbox. I'm not here to beat my chest and tell people that I'm right and they're wrong. I'm not here to over-explain. I'm here to help creatives get into flow, get out of their head and start creating things. That's why I'm here. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this podcast and experiencing this ebook, How to Shitpost Online, in a visual format. And if you're just listening, that's fantastic too. That's really dope. This has been incredible. I'm so happy that I got to do this. I'd been working and workshopping this concept for a while. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know in the comment section. You guys know how to do that. I love you guys so much. I hope this spoke to one of you. I know it's a lot of information, but feel free to come back to it. That's why I've offered it when it comes to shorts, the ebook, the podcast. I want to hit every single way that you guys consume, whether that's newsletters, articles, what have you. I'm just here to serve. And I hope that this made sense to some of you. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Keep a force field around your heart, and I'll see you guys on the next podcast. Peace.